Colonel Gaddafi has delivered a typically defiant response to its airstrikes on his own country, saying that Western powers attacking Libya will end up in the dustbin of history. Coalition forces have continued their air assault on military targets as they attempt to eliminate Gaddafi's ability to attack anti-government rebels. But forces loyal to the Libyan leader have kept up their shelling of rebel-held Misrata in the west and Zintan near the border with Tunisia, despite a ceasefire previously announced by Libyan forces. Middle East correspondent Anne Barker reports.
It was Colonel Gaddafi's first appearance since the imposition of a no-fly zone and coalition airstrikes on his compound. Addressing a crowd of supporters who volunteered to be human shields, the Libyan leader remained defiant, promising he'd be victorious in the end.
It's a new crusade, a crusade against Islam. All Islamic armies take part in the battle. Demonstrations in every place, in Asia, in Africa, in America, in Europe. Their people are against them. We will take part in this historic battle. We won't surrender.
There were more airstrikes overnight, with the US military confirming 20 Tomahawk missiles were fired at strategic targets. On Monday night, this naval facility in Tripoli was extensively damaged. Warehouses used to store supplies and vehicles were destroyed. No one was injured in this attack, but the Libyan government says many civilians were killed elsewhere.
We are still waiting for the official figures because many of the targets last night were civilian and quasi-military places like ports and harbours used by fishermen, civilian employees with the army as well, west and east of Tripoli. So basically what is happening now is the British government is killing more civilians to protect civilians.
No one has independently confirmed any civilian deaths from the attacks, but the coalition forces insist they're only targeting military installations. But some global powers are concerned. Although the operation is backed by a UN resolution, Russia and China, both veto powers on the Security Council, are openly expressing reservations about the airstrikes. But the US, Britain and France are adamant they've made the right decision and have agreed that NATO should be central to the ongoing operation. The government in Libya believes the airstrikes show the coalition is taking sides and trying to oust Colonel Gaddafi.
Now we are seeing the coalition forces, they are part of the war now against the legitimate government, which is, I think they are working now outside the mandate of the United Nations. They are helping one party against the other, which is illegal, illegitimate.
But there may be no need for regime change. The US Secretary of State Hillary Clinton says people close to Gaddafi have been exploring future options on the dictator's behalf.
We've heard about other people close to him reaching out to people that they know around the world, Africa, the Middle East, Europe, North America, beyond, saying, what do we do? How do we get out of this? What happens next?
But if Gaddafi goes, the evidence on the ground is he'll go down fighting. These rebels in Misrata, Libya's third city, were enjoying a moment's respite, but it didn't last long. The town has been the subject of intense shelling and sniper fire from Gaddafi's forces for weeks. Dozens of people have been killed and many more wounded. Coalition forces have suffered their first loss in the campaign when an F-15 fighter jet crashed near Benghazi in the west of the country. Both crew members ejected from the plane before it crashed, reportedly from mechanical failure. One pilot was taken by rebels and handed over to US forces. The second was picked up by an American helicopter. Neither suffered serious injuries. Compared with many in Libya, they got off lightly. Anne Barker, Lateline.